Longhorns knocked out the Aggies at the SEC championship game by dominating the second half. They outscored the Aggies in the second half, Ocho, 24-7. Arch, on third and short, they put the ball in his hand, quarterback draw, and he went to the house 35 yards, threw some great passes in the second half, 14-29, 179, one touchdown, but they ran the ball. Finally, Texas running game, they were able to run the football. 35 carries, 218 yards, 2 touchdowns, and it was enough at home to take down the number 3 Texas A&M Aggies by the score of 27-17. Marcel Reed had a rough one. 20 of 32, 180, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You kind of saw where this was heading. Because South Carolina had them down real bad. And Carolina let them off the hook because their quarterback played terribly. Lenore Sellers played really bad in the second half. And he allowed Texas A&M to get back in the game. But give Texas credit. They got conservative. They will have a lead. What was the lead? 17? The score was 17-10? Yeah, 17-10. They got the ball. And then for some reason, Sark got conservative. And then they go down and score. And then the next thing, Sark said, you know what, I'm done with this. Now he called the game aggressive. Come out there first pass, sail route to the tight end, then another pass, and then Arch Manning took it to the house for 35 yards, and they win 27-17. Ocho, how impressive did you think the Longhorns looked?
I think they look very impressive. Obviously, they didn't have to put the ball in Arch Manning's hands for them to actually win the game. He didn't have to throw the team to a victory. They ran the ball so well. They had a balance.
Turn your mic on, Ocho.
The hell? Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I was saying they ran the ball so well and had a balanced attack where Arch Manning didn't have to put the brunt of the offense on his shoulders. So when it was time to throw the ball, it was very easy for him to be able to throw the ball and operate from the pocket. Even though he's able to extend plays and do what he can with his legs, but because they ran the ball so well, they was able to throw it. That's why they were so efficient throwing the ball in the air. They played really good goddamn defense. Obviously, what I didn't like is when you play against a better college team that has a great offense, a better offense than what they saw tonight in Texas A&M. The conservative play calling has to stop. You can't have those lapses. You can't have those lapses offensively where you decide, okay, I don't want to put the ball in harm's way, so now I'm going to call plays conservatively. You're going to play better teams, and better teams are going to beat you if you decide to do stuff like that.
Because what happens is that you go conservative, so you run the ball on first and second down. Now they blitz you on third down and get your ass off the field. So what you should have done is come out and throw the ball on first down because they're anticipating you. What he did the last time he got the ball. He anticipated them. Go come out, you know what, they're going to look for us to run the ball again. No, we're not going to do that. They come with the sail route. Now it's a big time first down. Now you got some momentum. Now you got them on the heels, and the D coordinator doesn't really know what he's going to do. Is he going to throw it? Is he going to run it? Is he just going to try to chew time off the clock? I really don't know what to anticipate here. And then I love the quarterback draw. You bring the tight end in motion, and he's your lead backer. Your lead blocker. That was a great call by Sark. The one thing we know about Sark, and one of the reasons why Arch Manning went there, he's a quarterback whisperer. You look at who he's worked with in the past and the success that those guys have had. He worked with Mac Jones. He worked with Matt Lyon and Carson Palmer. He's worked with some of the better prototypical quarterbacks that when they go to the league, they're very well prepared. And so I think that's one of the things, because obviously Arch Manning wants to go to the NFL like his uncle, Peyton Eli. And I need to get prepared, because I can't get prepared once I get there. I need to be prepared once I arrive there. And so I think this was a great matchup. A lot of people probably thought he would go to his dad's alma mater, Ole Miss. Maybe he followed his big uncle Peyton to Tennessee. But he went to Texas. That's what Sark was, and everything seems to be working out really, really well. But I was really impressed with Texas. This was, now that this is back on the schedule, they hadn't played each other in a very long time, because obviously Texas was in one conference, and A&M had gone left and gone to the SEC. Now they're both in the SEC. Now we can expect this rivalry to continue, just like Texas, Oklahoma. Some rivalries need to continue, whether they're in the same conference or not. if it's an out of schedule, something, even let's just say for some unforeseen reason, Ohio State or Michigan were to leave the Big Ten. I don't care. I don't care where y'all go. Y'all go to Division III. We playing y'all ass every year. 1 year it's in Michigan, the next year it's in Ohio State. That's because these rivals have been going on for so long. It's just like, it's like going to church. It's like you grew up in the church. Okay? We grew up watching these rivalries. Auburn, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State. That's what it should be. But man, I was very, very impressed with Texas tonight. That defense did a great job on Marcel Reed. Limited them to 180 yards passing. Didn't really get beat. They had 34 rush attempts for 157 yards. So that's a little 4.5 yards a carry. You can live with that. But Texas running game is really what won this ball game for us. Bears with us, Chad Ocho signal went out for a second. But it was their running game, because we had talked about all year long about Texas not being able to run the football. And finally tonight, when they really absolutely needed to run the football and they absolutely had to run the football, they were able to run the football. Wisner did a tremendous job, 19 rushes, 155 yards. We mentioned Arch Manning had that 35-yard touchdown. He had 7 carries for 53 yards and a touchdown. And Townsend, they ran a great, they put him in a wing set, the tight end. And they were looking for something else, and they handed it to him, and he goes in for like a two-yard touchdown run. So I thought Texas' ability to run the football tonight was really the difference in the ball game, because I don't believe that Arch Manning, with that vaunted pass rush that Texas A&M have, I don't believe Arch Manning could have just dropped back and threw Texas to a victory. Because they were able to run the football, because they're able to play action off of it, they were able to win this game. And I was very, very impressed with the Texas Longhorns. They got something going. Do I believe Arch Manning is coming back? Yes, I absolutely do. Do I think he'll be better next year than he was this year? Because this is really his first year starting. Quinn Ewers was there. Yeah, he filled in. But beating San Jose State and beating some of those lower tier teams, that doesn't prepare you for the next level that you anticipate playing at. And so I was really impressed, especially the back half of this season. Yeah, we saw him against Ohio State. We saw him early in the year. And most people, I know I wasn't very impressed. But if you look at those last 4 or 5 games that he played, he's impressed me. The way he's thrown the football, the poise in which he's shown, I'm very, very impressed with Arch Manning. And I think, he's going to be what they thought he was going to be, which is a top 3, top 4 pick. Who knows, maybe even a number 1 pick like his uncles Peyton and Eli were. But it was a very impressive win, and I know Sark is extremely happy with what transpired today. Everybody was looking forward to this game. Texas A&M, they're supposed to play each other, and I'm glad this rivalry was renewed, and Texas were able to pull it out. We'll see what happens to them. I don't think they have a chance to go at 9-3. I don't think they have a chance to go to make the college football playoff. Okay, after the game, Sark lobbied for his team to make the college football playoff. That team was undefeated, number 3 in the country. A lot of pundits out there think they're the number 1 team in the country. Nobody thinks that, Sark, but we love you. We just beat them by 10. If you really look at the body of work, you really look at the SEC and what we have to go through every week, you look at the non-conference schedule. We played where we went to Ohio State week 1 and lost by 7. We outgained them by nearly 200 yards. We got a really good football team, and it would be a disservice to our sport if the team's not in the playoff, we went and scheduled that non-conference game. Because if we're 10-2, it's not a question. But we were willing to go play that game. Is that what college football is about? Don't play anybody and have a good record, or play the best and put the best teams in the playoff. We're one of the best teams.
Wait.
I agree. But it was one of the things that kept Alabama out of it last year.
Right.
I don't believe, because there are a lot of one loss and 2-loss teams that, so if Georgia goes to because Georgia beat Texas.
Yes.
So that would be a disservice to them if they lost the SEC championship game and not make the college football playoff, but a team that we beat does.
They get a chance to make it.
Right. So I get what Sark said, and I do. I believe they're one of the better teams, but 3 losses it's going to be really hard for you to convince the committee, considering the 1 and 2 loss teams that are in front of you, especially in SEC.
Yeah, but
Oklahoma has a compelling case.
But knowing how the committee is, especially when it comes down to the process, sometimes not really understanding how they come up with the decision making when it comes to certain teams going in. Do you think they still have a good chance?
No. Ohio State is undefeated. Even if they lose in the Big Ten championship, they're going. Indiana is undefeated. Even if they lose in the Big Ten championship, they're going. Texas A&M, they have one loss. Georgia, if they lose, they'll have 2 losses. Texas Tech, they have 1 loss. If they lose, they'll have 2 losses. Oregon has 1 loss. SEC, Ole Miss, in the same conference that Texas is in, they have 1 loss. Oklahoma has 2 losses. They don't play anymore. Notre Dame has 2 losses. Alabama has 2 losses. BYU, 1 loss. Miami, 2 losses. Utah, 2 losses. There are 15 teams.
Damn.
15. Now, if Vanderbilt wins tomorrow, they'll be 10-2. They play Tennessee. It's 15 teams that have fewer losses and ranked above you.
Yes.
So I don't.
Was his compelling argument the fact that the schedule that they have is much more difficult than everyone else's? The reason why they have 2 losses?
He's saying our non-conference, one of our losses of the 3 is that at number 1 Ohio State. And we lost by, I think he said he lost by 7 points. I forget, that was the very first game of the season. But guess who else is in that same conference you're in? Alabama, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Georgia, A&M. They played the exact same schedule except the non-conference. They lost 14-7, so they lost by 7 points. So, but you lost to Florida.
Ooh.
You lost to Florida. So you lost to Florida, you lost to Ohio State. Who's the other loss? You lost to Georgia. So how do you, let's just say for the sake of argument, Ocho, Georgia goes to the SEC championship game and they lose again. How do you put Texas in over Georgia when Georgia beat them head-to-head 35-10?
Yeah.
And it wasn't close. Everybody remembers that game. That game wasn't close.
Yeah. And the funny thing about it, too, the committee can look at the type of team Florida is and how bad they've been. They've been extremely up and down all season long. And if you're one of the better teams that's supposed to be making the playoffs, that's a game you're actually supposed to win. There are no excuses about that. So that definitely, going to be somewhat of staying. The committee going to take that into account, where they could be on the outside looking in.
But the Big 12 has a championship game, and I think if Texas Tech wins that, I don't know, Texas Tech might still go even with 2 losses. Oregon has 1 loss. They play Oregon State. They win. They'll be 11-1. Ole Miss 10-1. Oklahoma 9-2. Oklahoma has beaten, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 4 top 25 teams.
Right. That's tough.
Yes, Oklahoma lost to Texas, but they only have 2 losses. 2. Now, last I checked, now if you play in golf, you want a higher number. You want to be -3, -4, -5, -15. But when it comes to ranking, the lower number matters. One team lost 2 games, ranked higher. The other team lost 3 games, ranked lower. So if that's the case, so let me get this straight. So what do we do with Michigan? If Michigan beats Ohio State, do we put them in? Because they've only lost 2 games, and they would have beaten Ohio State, the team that you lost to. So how does that work? So Chad, let's have some fun right now. So what's going on? How do we resolve this? If Michigan beats Ohio State tomorrow, they'll be 10-2. Will that beat the number 1 team in the country? Texas gets in, they're 9-3, lost to that same team. So you put Texas in over Michigan.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. But does it always make sense in who the committee chooses to go to the playoffs? Has it always made sense?
No, because a lot of people thought Alabama was going to make it last year, and they didn't. And I think Alabama had 2 losses, right? Alabama was the only 2-loss team that didn't make it. The thing is, and look, you get this. This is what you get, Ocho.
Yeah.
Because remember, it says, okay, it used to be, well, it was so arbitrary because you had the two highest ranked teams
Yes.
and you played for the national championship. And then it says, okay, we're going to take the 4 teams. And then that wasn't enough. And they said we're going to take 8 teams. And that wasn't enough. I mean, pretty soon, you're going to have damn near 40 teams playing.
Yeah.
At some point in time, these kids got to go to school. Damn. Because, okay, you got your top 4 seeds. They have byes. But everybody else got to play. So you have the opening round. Then you have the quarterfinals. Then you have, the quarterfinals and the semifinals and then the finals. Yeah, these kids going to be, I get it. It's damn near like professional football now.
Yeah,
but these
basically.
kids damn near going to be playing football in February.
Yeah.
And some of them, Ocho, got draft coming up, got the combine.
You know what? You think some players, especially those that are high round picks, you think they'll elect not to play?
That's going to be interesting, Ocho, because what we've seen in the past,
Yes.
if teams weren't competing for a national championship, some of the guys, the Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, some of those top tier guys didn't play.
Right.
It would be very, very interesting to see. Let's just say, I don't know off the top of my head who would it be, but would they consider sitting out?
Right. Hell, you listen. Honestly, to me, you can't play the game of football being. Honestly, to me, the game of football, you can't think about it. You can't be scared playing the game of football. You done played all season long. You made it this damn far. One more game. Get out there and do what you need to do to continue to show the scouts, what you can do, and obviously playing against better competition. Shoot, I don't know.
If they play now, it'll be 4 rounds, right? So you play the first round, and then you'll play second round, then you play the third round, and then you play the national championship game. So somebody's gonna have to win. Somebody's gonna have to win 4 games, Ocho.
Yeah, basically. So
somebody theoretically Indiana or Ohio State could set the record and be 16-0 because there have been a couple of teams, LSU and Clemson, that was 15-0. So now you're playing basically an NFL season. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this thing plays out. Texas did look impressive tonight, but I think it was a little bit. I think the Florida loss really killed them.
Yeah.
Right. The top 4 teams have byes. 3 games. Okay. Yeah. Texas, you'd probably have I think Texas would have had a more compelling argument, Ocho, if you don't lose to Florida. You can't lose to Florida.
Yeah. That's probably,
everybody knows Florida's a barn fire.
That's probably gonna hurt him.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna hurt.
The question is, how far does Texas A&M fall? I don't think Texas A&M dropping out of the top 10. They went to Notre Dame and beat Notre Dame. Let's see where Notre Dame's ranked. Notre Dame's ranked number 9. They've been on the road to beat Notre Dame. How many ranked teams have A&M beat? So they had 3 wins over ranked teams at the time that they played them.
Right.
Missouri, Notre Dame, and LSU. So they had wins over 3 ranked teams. How many wins does Texas have over ranked teams besides tonight? Okay, they beat A&M tonight. Oklahoma. Yeah. Vanderbilt. Okay. Vanderbilt's ranked number 14. Oklahoma's ranked number 8, and A&M's ranked number 3. So Oklahoma was 6 at the time. Vanderbilt was 9 at the time. But Florida was like 117th at the time. So all the good deeds that you done got undid by that. But it's gonna be very interesting. They make a compelling case with how they took care of Texas A&M.
Yeah.
It's gonna just be hard to put a 3-loss team in. because I mean, Alabama last year they beat number 1 Georgia. They had some compelling wins, so it's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. I think like Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, and Georgia, I think they're locks.
Yeah.
Alabama wins, Alabama's in.
Nope.
Now, what'll be interesting, Ocho,
Yes.
if they win, get to the SEC championship and lose. Now but they're saying this is why they want to do away with conference championships. Because now all of a sudden somebody just sitting back with their heels up that didn't make the conference championship,
right.
And I lose. Now we got the same number of losses where they say, well, we saw you lost last just Saturday, so we're gonna put this other team that didn't play.
Ooh, yeah.
So I think that's why they kind of head to the direction of show they're gonna just do away with the conference championship.
Yeah. That's somewhat unfair.
Oh, absolutely.
Unfair.
Ocho.
And with that, we welcome in CBS Sports NFL analyst, football analyst, Emory Hunt. And Emory, see, I'm just so excited. I'm getting all my words mixed up, you know what I'm saying? But all jokes aside, Texas doing this the way they started this game, I'm sure you did not expect this result coming out once you saw that first half, right?
I did not, because we saw Texas A&M's defense. We was laughing about this, but I was like, man, they must have did something personal to the Aggies because how they were attacking and teeing off on Arch Manning. And so when we saw that defense go out there and just look like the old school wrecking crew of that defense, and the nation that Texas is to be reckoned with, they're playing their best ball down the stretch. And this game has shaken up, in my opinion, the college football playoff conversation that we were having extensively in the green room because of what we saw from Arch Manning tonight in the second half.
Look, now this win for Texas, right, is bad for Miami. Because if you think about the Longhorns' resume, right, they have better wins, right? They don't have as many bad losses. Texas, do you believe at this current point in time they deserve to be in that top 12 the way they outhandled, right, Texas A&M after a poor first half?
Oh man, that's a great question and a unique situation for the college football playoff, because if you zoom out a little bit and you think about the ACC and who's going to get the auto bid per se for being the highest ranked conference champ out the ACC, but when you look at these at-large bids and you think about Texas and what Texas has done, look at this. You know, Texas's win is bad for Alabama. It could be potentially bad for, let's say, in Oklahoma, whom Texas beat.
Right.
So that's important. We know the Miami spot is primarily just a placeholder for the ACC guy, right? But my goodness, talk about a monumental upset that now shakes things up, because obviously Texas A&M may not be in that top 4, which puts them probably in the spot, let's say like a Bama or Oklahoma, which then opens up a spot for Texas to get in as well. So it makes it compelling, especially if Vanderbilt is able to beat Tennessee, because that makes Texas's case a lot stronger.
Just when we thought, Friday wasn't going to bring any fireworks, Texas is able to get it done against the Aggies, their third AP top win this season. The last team to do that, the 2019 LSU Tigers. Now, obviously, nobody thinks this Texas Longhorns team is like the 2019 Tigers, but it does show you that they're able to answer the call when the moment calls for it, right?
And they did it without their star linebacker, Anthony Hill, who was out with a hand injury. And you saw a gutsy performance from Arch Manning, but a great performance from Trey Wisner. 19 carries, 155 yards on the ground, and he popped some big runs that helped continue to keep this offense on the field to where they got more chances, more swings at bat. And anytime you give an offense that many opportunities with the ball, Chris, great things is going to happen. And again, on the other side, we saw a gutsy performance from Marcel Reed. We saw him fight through that ankle injury or lower leg injury. He came back, showed his mettle, showed his toughness, and he saw a good job by E.J. Smith popping a couple of runs. What it looked like A&M was about to regain control of the ball game. But man, the defense couldn't get Texas off the field, and the turnovers by Marcel Reed late in the ball game ultimately doomed them in the end. This is a very good football team. They still have a lot of road out in front of them. A&M is still one of the top 12 teams in the country. But we were having a discussion, where do you drop A&M after this loss because they're 3, they lose to number 16. You do the math, but where do they go? And do they go behind Texas? Does Texas get into the top 10? So there's a lot to be discussed before Tuesday, which makes all of this so much fun as this thing continues to play out. Because this is only Friday. We still have tomorrow, Saturday, to go about in all these games that we talked about that have significant impact on the college football playoff.
Yeah, everything is heating up in November as we get into the month of December. Now, I do want to go back to the offense about the Aggies, right? This was a team that usually just was able to power over people, right? Or able to get it in the air attack.
On third down. So that tells you Texas's defense did a great job initially because now, to your point, A&M was used to just rolling over people, and a lot of that comes from them being able to win on first down to where it becomes second and manageable, third and short. And when you're third and short with that offensive line and their ability to run the football with that stable of backs that they have, you're staying on pace, you're staying on schedule, you're staying in your mindset of who you are as a team. But when you take that away, now you put Texas A&M in a situation where they're going to have to throw on third downs, and that's not where they want to be, especially third and medium plus or third and long. And that's where Texas was able to win this ball game, getting them off the field, putting the ball back in the hands of their offense, and their offense just staying at it, finding ways. Their offensive line showed leakage in the first half, but in the second half, still showed some leakage, but Arch Manning was able to overcome some of that and find some big plays downfield. So I thought by the Texas defense, even without some of their stars, made plays that were there to be made on first down, and then we saw them just be able to be aggressive on third down, and it helped that Marcel Reed wasn't totally 100%, and Texas fed off that.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. You have to capitalize on your opportunities, and the Longhorns did just that on Friday night. How about Arch Manning, though, going up against top 10 teams this season? So in home neutral sites, 3-0, teams averaging 28 points per game, over 300 yards, 6 total TDs, 0 picks. On the road, 0-2. That scoring took a huge dip. Same with yards per game, and very erratic with the football. And now let's go to somebody who took in the game. Stadium 24/7 Sports National College Football writer Chris Hummer. And Chris, this was a game that was really a tale of two halves. In that second half, what did you see both in the atmosphere and just from an X's and O standpoint that allowed Texas to shock Texas A&M and prevent them from having an undefeated season and going to the SEC championship?
Well, the atmosphere was electric. This is the first game here in 15 years. It's one of the biggest rivalries in college football, and Texas fans were in it the whole time. But I think it came down to Texas establishing the run. This is an offense that struggled to establish the run all year. Came around the week ranked 105th nationally in yards per play on the ground. Trey Wisner had his best game of the season, running for 155 yards. Arch Manning came up late, clutch with that touchdown he had. That's family team. For Arch Manning to put the game away the way he did, it's just a huge moment for Texas and really pushes them into the playoff discussion that I think a lot of people didn't think they would be part of. So it was a huge moment, and Texas fans are still in the stadium right now cheering. The eyes of Texas just went off, and the vibes here are very good.
Yeah, they are 9-3 on the year right now, but they do have a really good resume, Chris. Would you bump out Miami, who's now slated at 12 at the current point in time, and move Texas into that range or even above that based on how they finished the season?
I think it's going to be dependent on how some of the teams play tomorrow, including Miami, but I think Texas has a very compelling case as a 3-loss team. As y'all know, a 3-loss team has never made the college football playoff, but Texas has put itself in a position with 3 wins over top 14 teams, 2 losses to top 5 teams, to really make a compelling argument for that. I don't know if the committee's going to meet them there, but I certainly think Texas has put itself well in the discussion and should, I think, maybe even arguably leap of Vanderbilt at 9-2 at least going in tomorrow. Michigan could lose. Then you got Texas probably in an argument with Utah and Miami to potentially get those final spots. So it'll be very interesting to see how the committee treats it.
So Texas came into the season ranked number 1, and now they have a potential to perhaps sneak themselves into the college football playoff after taking down number 3 Texas A&M. And on the Aggie side, Chris, how shocked were you that this offense, right, that is usually so high-powered, wasn't able to muster up the drives and convert when they needed it most, because I know Marcel Reed had that leg injury.
Kind of took that element away from Texas A&M most of the night, and it put Marcel Reed in a pretty precarious position where he had to push the ball downfield a lot of night. He wasn't able to take advantage. And I do certainly think his leg injury probably played a role in that. He's at his most dynamic when he's on the move, and he just wasn't able to do quite as much of that as we usually see.
Not able to do it as the Texas Longhorns get the upset, a huge win, and doing a lot for their college football playoff hopes. Chris Hummer, always appreciate the insight, man.
Thank you.
All right, so here are the SEC championship game scenarios entering Saturday. So Georgia has clinched a spot in the SEC championship thanks to the Aggies losing on the road. Alabama, they clinch a spot with a win at Auburn. We know how those rivalry games can go. Ole Miss, well, they will be in with an Alabama loss at Auburn. The Aggies, no more SEC championship game, but maybe